a go status.
T-minus 30 seconds.
The morning mayhem.
TPA script running. Second stage LH2 securing started.
Ready for launch?
Ready to embark on a national security mission for the United States of America.
News Talk 92.
Range green. Igniters armed. Rofi ignition.
KBU.
4, 3, and liftoff.
Standing by to go to the partial thrust.
The morning mayhem is on.
As expected.
The Morning Mayhem is pre-recorded and for entertainment purposes only.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
And let's jam here on this here Thursday morning, everybody, as we get a day closer to a Friday, a day closer to a weekend, and what a short weekend it has been. Biden says there's nothing he can do to bring down gas or food prices in the near term. Woman steals baby formula from a cart of hoarding couple, but is it really stealing? And 4 people killed in shooting at a Tulsa medical building. We'll follow up on that. Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson open to discussing age limits for AR-15 style guns, and people who drink coffee every day are less likely than non-coffee drinkers to die early, researchers suggest. And cheese sold in 9 states recalled due to listeria. $35 plus million provided for Arkansas water and wastewater projects. All that and more. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Good morning, everybody. Here on this Thursday morning, 71 degrees outside. Feels like 76 out there. Whoo, there's a big difference between that current temperature and that feels like it out there. About 5 degrees difference, which means humidity's up a little high today. So, ladies, if you're out there trying to put your hair together, you might just want to go ahead and throw it in a ponytail. I'm just saying, that's all. And I noticed there happens to be some lightning there off in the southern hemisphere. Not sure what that's all about, but it looks like there is definitely some chance of thunder boomers out there hanging around somewhere and lying out there for somebody out there. But hang on, let me take a little quick peek out there and see what that is, because where is that? Because that is just south of here. I noticed that on the southern horizon, and that would be hanging around over... well, it's not. Oh, that's where that's coming from. The closest cell to us in the south is right over there, right off of 79, just south of Magnolia. Closest thing that shows up on the map there is Calhoun, Arkansas, which right in between Calhoun and Emerson. What direction that is moving, I do not know at this moment, but let's see. Oh, that's moving right for us. Oh, how exciting. So, yeah, it's heading right here. So, yeah, if you see that lightning there in the southern hemisphere, that's actually hanging out there between Magnolia and El Dorado on its way here to Camden. So, welcome, little baby thunder boomer. It's a little bitty tiny sail. It's just a little bitty thing. So, we'll see what happens with that. It does show to be quite intense, though, in the center. So we got Dr. Jared coming in. She'll be our roundtable guest today because it is Thursday. And, of course, if you have any questions or comments or anything that you would like to send anonymously, 501-313-0944, you can send that there. And that way nobody knows it was you who asked the question or made the comment unless you just tell us it's you. And we won't even know it's you unless you tell us. So there's all that there. Okay. We keep being told... It's a funny thing. Politics is just so funny, and it's just amazing how, it goes back and forth because it doesn't apply to you. It seems like if you're a conservative and politics just does not, the rules just don't apply to you. It applies to everybody else, but not to you. Cause you remember you made that argument a while back, and you were going on about how Biden, increased gas prices at the pump, but then you were countered with that with someone saying, oh no, man, cause the president, no sitting president has any control over prices at the pump, man, cause that's not how that works, man. So, they can't control the price going up, man, cause that's not, that's not how it works. Even they don't understand how it works. Because it amazes me that a sitting president cannot affect the prices at the pump if it goes up. See, so if the price goes up, oh no, man, that's not the president's doing. He had nothing to do with that. Because the president can't do anything like that, mess with the prices at the pump, man. But if the president enacts policy which could cause the prices to come down. See, then everyone's like, oh yeah, man, cause that's our president, man. Yeah, that's what the president does, man. The president can make prices go down at the pump. Yeah. By releasing, thousands, millions of barrels from the strategic reserve. You flood the market and then the market price comes down, right? See, but, a sitting president could never fluctuate the price of fuel at the pump. Up or down, except down. And down is good, but never up. Cause, that's not, no, man, cause, it's not how that works. Well, then how does it work? I don't know, man, but that's not how it works. The reason why I bring that up, it's because Biden says that there's just nothing he can do to bring down gas or food prices in the near term, man. So, you're just going to have to deal with it, man. Because, a president can't, has no effect on prices at the pump, man. Because, that's how it works. So I'm guessing we're out of reserves. Because, it seemed like when we were producing our own oil, I guess, something like that. I don't know. Something was happening. Life was good, but we were energy independent and stuff. And then, this guy shows up and then, wham, all of a sudden. No, better yet. This guy shows up and now we have none of this fuel stuff that we used to have. So anyhow, on Wednesday, Biden said there's very little he can do to lower the cost of gasoline or food in the immediate term and acknowledged that prices for those goods will remain high as he works to bring down other costs incurred by families. Who knew? Because, sitting president, man, has no effect on, the president has no effect on the stock market. Well, if you're a Democrat, you don't, because, when stocks tumble and when there's a Democrat in the office, that has nothing to do with a president, because a president can't, do that. Even though we watched that with Obama, which was kind of interesting, because everything was fine until he had a press conference and opened his mouth, and then there goes the stock market tumbling down. So they said, there's a lot going on right now, man, but the idea that we're going to be able to, oh, this is Biden speaking, by the way. So, there's like a lot going on right now, man, but, the idea that we're going to be able to click a switch, and bring down the cost of gasoline is not likely in the near term, man, because, it's nor, or is it with regard to food either, Biden added, where he said this at the White House. He says, we're here we're holding an event, on infant formula shortage too, man, because, there's stuff and things with the shortage and stuff. Yeah, shortage and stuff. It's an interesting thing. I don't know. I've been reading some stuff about this formula stuff. Now, we've got formula that is coming over from over in Europe. I don't understand what the deal is, because supposedly this formula that's in Europe is just terrible for American babies. I don't know if it's the conversion or something, because everything between us and them are different. They drive on the wrong side of the road. We drive on the right side of the road. Literally, we drive on the right side of the road. They drive on the left side of the road, which is the wrong side of the road. There's that conversion there. Let's see. Their electricity is at 240 volts. Our electricity is actually at 120, which really is actually 240 volts. We're just using half of that. I'm not going to get into the whole electrical thing, but, see, theirs is at 50 hertz. Ours is at 60 hertz. See, there's a conversion difference there too. Let's see. Oh, if the scoop is, not the same size, their scoops are smaller. The scoop that's in the can for the formula, their scoops are smaller. Our scoops are bigger. There's a conversion issue there too. They do things in liters. We do things in ounces. We got the whole metric versus imperial measurement thing going on there as well. This is all bad for American babies. So, European babies, I guess it works for them because, I don't know, we haven't really heard anything in the news big about, a bunch of European babies dying off from infant formula and stuff. Seems to work for them, but I guess the conversion just doesn't work for American babies. And so they are actually confiscating. Get this. People are buying formula overseas through online sites and things like this. So this formula comes over and it goes through customs because, it's coming out of country. So it has to go through customs. Well, then it gets actually taken by customs, and then customs will seize it, and it never gets delivered. Supposedly, they collect it and they burn it. Allegedly, that's what I've read so far. So, with that said, you think about, well, what about Biden, doing the baby stuff? He's out there with the baby drop operation or Dumbo drop or whatever it was, right? Yeah, there's that. But the thing is, though, is that come to find out, all that stuff that is coming over from Europe, that the military is going over and picking up, supposedly that's all for the government. That's not for you. That's for the government. So if you're on WIC and any of the other government agency programs or anything like that, you're covered because that formula is actually for the government to give out to, or the government, people on government aid. But for the rest of you who, go and buy your own formula, yeah, you're screwed. It's not for you, man. It's for all the government recipients and stuff like that. So, as we are, while he's trying to figure out what to do about this whole infant formula shortage, they've already figured out what to do with the infant formula shortage. Burn the rest and keep what they want for their people and burn the rest. So Biden and his team are seeking to place heavy emphasis on the economy in the coming weeks because, it doesn't look good. And to demonstrate his commitment to reining in inflation. Reining in inflation. Say that 5 times fast. Reining in inflation. Reining in inflation. Even as the days, there's not much he can do either. The president has tasked his aides with improving the administration's message as he watches his approval ratings sink. So his plan has centered on allowing the Federal Reserve the necessary independence to combat inflation through monetary policy. So that's what he's going to do. He's conceded that there's little he could do alone, to bring down the highest profile cost spikes and everything. But he says we could take immediate action that I'm aware of yet to figure out, how we're going to bring down the prices of gasoline back to $3 a gallon. I don't know. Like last time, you just went ahead and took some gasoline there from, actually it was raw crude oil from the strategic reserves and, pumped out a couple of million gallons there in barrels or whatever and said, here you go. And it did. It brought the price down for a couple of weeks and then it went right back up. So I would think, to flood the market somehow. I mean, I'm not an economist or anything, but just from observation, I would think that if maybe you flood the market with oil, that because oil is a global market price thing, that maybe you could bring down the price of oil, which would bring down the price of gasoline. And so like I said, I'm not an economist or anything, but I have seen some things. And I did stay at a Holiday Inn once as well. So, I mean, there was that. So, I mean, I don't know. I guess Biden forgot that he did the strategic reserve release and actually got prices to come down. That was all him. So there you go. All right. So he didn't know what he's doing. We don't know what we're doing. We don't even know what we're talking about here. We're just spitballing right now, trying to figure out how in the world we're going to pay for all this crap. I got to take a break. We'll be right back. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. Boy, I am waiting for that honey to become available. I got notification they're doing their first pull over the weekend. And that seems to be the thing because I found out other people are telling me that, hey, man, we're doing our first pull as well for the season. And, they're outside of my jurisdiction, so it won't work for me. But there is one person, though, that is pulling honey. Because during the break, man, I mean, I was just into a sneezing fit. Oh, my gosh. And then my nose like clogged up and everything. So definitely looking forward to having that honey there. And Mikey's having issues as well, man. His nose is all jacked up and everything. And then, of course, he's getting a sore throat out of it and all this other stuff. And so I keep telling him, man, you just gotta wait for the honey, man. You gotta wait for the honey because, you gotta get pulled and everything. And we'll have some honey here for the season. And, of course, we'll do that throughout the season. So, just before the break, though, we were talking about, Biden is going on about he just, he doesn't know what he's going to do. He really doesn't have much he can do to help you lower prices at the pump. And then, of course, you can't lower prices at the, for food and, not sure what to do about, can't really help you out here with this, baby food shortage. So this is a matter of opinion. So this woman steals baby formula out of the cart of a couple that's like hoarding it and everything. So there's this person, just, with the whole pandemic and everything. And then, we got all these other global issues. We got, shortages and supply chains and things like that. And of course, there's many reasons why people may use baby formula to feed their children rather than nursing, a child with milk from the mother's body. And, for some, there may be the inability to produce milk, while others just make the conscious decision to use formula instead. Regardless, whatever it is, there's product that's required for the survival of an infant, is in shortage. And there's parents who are in need of this formula to feed. So the realities are heightened with a recent online post of this woman who admits to stealing some containers of formula from the cart of another couple. So, like I said, this is a matter of opinion. Now the way they post this here is saying that stole, and I'm thinking, you know what? If it's in their cart and you took it out of their cart, it's really not stealing. They haven't paid for it. It's not theirs. It doesn't belong to them yet. So, if you happen to sneak a few out of their cart and put it in your cart, is it really stealing, though? I tell you what, though, that's definitely a game changer when it comes to Black Friday and Christmas time and all that. And you're looking for those great deals and you take somebody's tablet out of their grocery cart or out of their cart or whatever because you're like, hey, you don't own it yet. You haven't even paid for it yet. So I'm taking one of your extra tablets. Sucker. So anyhow, this was published back on May 20th. It's gone viral with 10,000 upvotes and 1,600 comments. So the author of the post is explaining that she's a new mom as of this month, and she's had a real struggle finding formula. She adds the context that her newborn is on a specific and sensitive brand of formula for the reason that she was unable to produce enough milk to nurse him herself. So the author of the post states that she recently drove 2 hours to a location outside of her city to buy the specific brand of baby formula that she needed. Just to show how desperate she has been, she laments that the shortage has been so exhausting and stressful. And when she saw that her local store had stock, she rushed right over to purchase some. Okay, so, we're on a good path here, right? We're on a good roll. We found some. We located some. We know where there is some. So we're going to rush over there. We're going to drive 2 hours to get over there and get some of this baby formula, right? But upon arriving, she noticed an older couple was taking formula off the shelf. And because the aisle was so small, the author of the post waited very patiently for her turn, only to realize that the couple was clearing the entire shelf, placing all 40 cans of formula into their cart. So the woman went on to ask him if she could have 4 cans for her own newborn, but the couple just glared at her and they walked away. Audacity of her to ask to partake in some of our Grey Poupon of baby formula, which is needed for our babies. So when she told them they had no right to take all that baby formula off the shelf, they simply told her that they got there first. We got here first, and we have twins to feed. Dippy dip. Oh. Yes, I know. The shortage came because of a massive supplier, of course, had that recall, right? So, in her frustration, she cut in front of the couple, and she grabbed a few cans out of the cart. Now, she didn't see it as stealing, though. That's what I'm saying. Is it really stealing if they hadn't even paid for it yet? So she was determined to ensure that she got enough for her baby. So the couple called her selfish, as well as other unsavory names for stealing the baby formula from the cart. A manager soon came over to confront the group, and he explained that to the author that there was a limit anyway, so the couple wouldn't have been able to buy all that formula they had in their cart anyways. But the author was still wondering if she was justified to take the action that she did to secure the formula regardless. So, what do you think? Did the person who made this post, did she do what she needed to do for her child, or was she out of line in the sense of it was first come, first serve, or the other couple got their formula? Was that fair and square that they did that? So, on the podcast, you can go up there and comment. We can talk about it as well. So you can comment on the podcast when it gets up there and put in your thoughts. Or you could actually send that in, 501-313-0944 if you don't want everybody to know that's you. But I need to go ahead and take this break here. Don't forget about the podcast. We'll be up there as well. All right, got to take this break. Bottom of the hour and stuff. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. What do you think, man? Just before the break, we're talking about, is it really stealing? Especially when it comes to times like these with baby formula. You see somebody in front of you just hoard all the baby formula. Take 40 cans off the shelf, put it in their cart, and you cut them off at the pass. And you sneak some out for yourself. You grab 4 cans, because that's all you need. You take what you need. You're not being greedy. You're just taking what you need, right? And then they accuse you of unsavory things, calling you names and things like that. Pish posh. And then, manager gets involved and everything. But then come to find out, you know what? They couldn't buy all those cans anyways because, there was a limit on how many they could buy anyways. So the lady, was she in the right not knowing that there was a limit and worried that she's been exhausted trying to find this formula. She found it. She drove 2 hours to go get it. Then she finds out that there's a couple in front of her that are taking all the cans, and out of panic, she manages to cut them off, grabs the 4 cans that she needs, and they accuse her, the couple who hoarded the cans of formula, accuse her of stealing. But is it really stealing though? It's in your cart, right? So if somebody came and shopped in your cart, would you be upset? I'm sure you would, but is it really stealing though? Because you haven't paid for the items yet. They still belong to the store. Like I said, that would definitely be a game changer though when it comes to Black Friday and Christmas time and everything. Because you notice somebody's got, all the tablets or whatever hot item it is that year for Christmas. And they've got more than their fair share, man. So, you got to give some of that up, man. Because you can't, buy all the tablets, man. So, I'm going to take one. And then next thing you know, there's a fight that's going on in the aisle there as they're whacking each other with rolls of wrapping paper. And, then everybody gets thrown out and nobody gets anything. Everybody loses. Everybody's a loser. Oh my gosh. So, yeah. Wow. Let's see. What do I got here? I am looking for staycations. Ooh, the last Howard Johnson restaurant has closed. Which first opened back in 1925, almost 100 years ago. And by mid-century, it became a recognizable roadside restaurant with an orange roof and 28 types of ice cream. Got beat out by Baskin-Robbins, didn't you? Yep. Well, it peaked in the late 60s, early 70s, and around 1,000 locations at that time. The chain even appeared on a throwback show of Mad Men. So what everybody started calling Hojo's, Howard Johnson's got nicknamed Hojo's there, started a fairly steep decline in the 80s. And the company was sold several times. By 2000, there were only a handful left. Now the restaurant is gone. But the Hojo hotel chain, which is owned by Wyndham, is still around with about 300 locations. Hey. Actually, they had one when I first moved to Hot Springs. They had one out there, right there off of Grand Avenue and Central. There was one right there. They had the big Hojo thing, and then they even had the restaurant attached to it. The restaurant ended up closing first, and then eventually well, it wasn't really a hotel; it was a motel. And then eventually that closed, and then that just sat there for the longest time. And then homeless people started breaking into it and everything, and weird people were hanging around out there and everything, doing stuff they probably shouldn't have been doing, and people, probably fornicating and and defecating, and they're probably eating things in there, which was probably why the place was so nasty. Well, anyhow, the church, is it the Methodist church? It's a big church. I think it's the Methodist church next door to Hojo. Ended up buying the property, and they knocked it all down. They flattened it out, man, filled the pool and everything, and turned it into a parking lot for their church. So if you go out there now, there's nothing there. There's nothing to see there. The Hojo, everything's gone. It's just all gone. So yeah, there's nothing else out there. Some other things too. 5 things only country folk know how to do. That's you. Look at you being country and everything out there. You so country. Yes, you is. You country, baby. Yes, you are. I am not. What about you, Doc Bryce? No, I'm still a city boy through and through. And sorry, though. Still even haven't gone hunting. Hopefully one of these days. I don't know. Could that be dangerous, though? I mean, I've gone to the gun range and stuff, and I know how to shoot clay pigeons. I mean, that's great. Pull! And then there it is. You lock, you load, and you shoot them out the sky. So, if I go hunting for clay pigeons, I should be okay. I've spent a lot of time on the gun range shooting at pieces of paper, targets and things like that. So, if I get out in the woods and there's a piece of paper, happens to wander by, I can shoot it and get it. I can hit it. Cans of shaving cream, if there happens to be anything, like that out in the woods, or, 2-liter bottles of, Coca-Cola. Anything like that. Yeah, I nail it with a 30-aught. No problem. Just don't know if I can actually hit a live target. Never shot one. Anyhow, a woman from Alaska impressed onlookers at a New York City bar when she removed a possum by the scruff of its neck. So kick a wild animal out of the bar to today's list of top 5 things only country folk know how to do. We need some country folk music here. I don't have any country folk music there, because I got what do I got there? I got that one. No, I don't even have that one there, because that's not gonna work. No, we don't want that one there. Let's see, what could we? Nope, that's too conspiracy theory there. That's not gonna fly, man. Is that? Well, I don't believe that. All right, we'll do that. That's not very country-like, but it'll do for now. All right, here's 5 things only country folk know how to do. 1, kick a wild animal out of a bar, especially in New York City. New York City. Well, some other things you can do. You can turn a jug, a washboard, and spoons into an orchestra. You can get a DUI on a lake. That's something you can do as a country folk. Country folk can find a tractor sexy. You know what I need? That's what I need. That's what I need. Country folk can't survive. No, I can't do that. I'll get clipped by the copyright algorithms and stuff. Never mind. I was just thinking that. You know what else a country folk can do? Country folk can survive. So yeah, they can find a tractor sexy. Use every pocket on the pair of overalls. Well, I do like overalls. Overalls are quite handy. You can skin roadkill into a pair of fuzzy slippers. Other things country folk know how to do is write countless songs about a dirt road. Preserve the legacy of Dale Earnhardt. Daddy, not Junior. Identify everything on the wall of a Cracker Barrel. Something that country folk know how to do. Survive a feral hog attack. And they say, don't nobody need no guns. You don't need no firepower like that. Because once somebody actually said, and I could not believe this. It was and this person claims to be an avid hunter in Alaska, and said that there's no reason why a hunter needs a sidearm. Because if you need a sidearm, you're a terrible hunter, and you just don't need to be out hunting. And I'm like, Have you ever stumbled upon an animal up close? Because trust me, a rifle's not going to, I don't even hunt, and I know that a rifle's not going to get you out of a situation if you're at close range with a bear, especially feral hogs that are trying to cut your legs open. So the next best thing is a sidearm. 9mm, something like that, maybe 45, whatever. 38, who knows, whatever it is that you like for a nice little sidearm there. It could be a revolver, it could be, don't use a Derringer. Don't take a 22 out there, you're just going to piss off the hogs. So yeah, that's, it just amazes me. We'll get into that a little bit later though. Get an anal probe by an alien is something that country folk know how to do. And parallel park their house is something else that, that they know how to do. Country folk know how to parallel park their house. Now, I mean, we may laugh and joke about that right there, but I tell you what, though, as soon as I can figure out how to sell off all my stuff, dump the house, and just pack light, I am going to figure out a way how to score me an RV, and guess what? That will be my house, and I will be learning real quick how to parallel park. I don't care, city boy, country folk, or what. I'm going to hit the road. That's the other thing, too. I got to figure out how in the world am I going to work from the road? I can't just take off and not make money. I got to make a living somehow. So, yeah. Once I can figure out how to make money from the road, I'm gone. I'll be hiatus. I'm just gone. And speaking of being gone, though, if it comes to, so wherever I'm at would not be a vacation, it'd be a staycation because I'm in my house. Man, my house is mobile and I could just pick up anytime I want to and just move on to the next place, right? So this summer, the biggest expenses of a vacation might be just getting somewhere, especially with the cost of fuel and everything. Airfare's going up with it as well. So if you think you're going to cheapen out and go like, well, you know what? Next time I just fly. Like, yeah, you try again there, buddy. Cause, guess what? Yeah, their fuel's going up too. WalletHub.com has released its annual list of best staycation cities in America. So they looked at 44 key metrics that are broken down into 3 categories like recreation, like, parks and pools. Oh, speaking of parks and pools, I need to tell you about our pool. Food and entertainment, including bars and attractions, and rest and relaxation like spas and beaches. So around about 182 cities, Hawaii had the best and the worst. So the best 10 cities for a staycation are, I don't know how I'm going to get an RV over to Honolulu, but you know what? It's worth a shot. It's worth a try. Honolulu coming in at number 1, Orlando at number 2, Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Portland, Maine, Las Vegas, San Francisco, New York City, San Diego, and Seattle. The 5 worst are Pearl City, Hawaii, coming in at number 1. Chula Vista, California. Moreno Valley, California. California's hot on this list. Ranchero, Cungamunga, California, and Oxnard, California. California just sucks. Nobody wants to stay there. So it's hard to understand how any place in Hawaii could even be a disaster for a staycation. But among, I don't know what, volcanoes or something. But among other things, Pearl City ranked last in the number of coffee and tea spots per capita as well. So, staycation, vacation, whatever. Yeah. And with that, though, let's see. Wait a minute. Hang on. Because I was going to say, it just came back to me. The pool. What's up with the pool? Yes, that's a good question. What is up with that pool? So I've been hanging around with Public Works off and on, back and forth, and, stuffing things and following along with this pool because it was brought up last year, towards the end of last year, that there was going to be an issue with the pool because they were talking about, money and where we're going to put money and can we take money out of this and can we do that? And then the thing came up about, well, what about the pool? What are we going to do with the pool? And so, Camden Public Works Director Kevin Franklin had explained that the pool had a situation there and that they were looking at actually possibly replacing the pool and talking with people. But the first thing is they were actually talking to people about fixing the pool. But the problem is we had just gotten out of that big deep freeze. And a lot of pool people were occupied in Texas because Texas got hit so hard with that deep freeze that a lot of these pool companies, as far as Kansas, were down in Texas working on these pools, getting these pools fixed. So when it came to, hey, man, so like, can you work on our pool? And they're like, no, we're good. And the other thing was, too, is that these pool people had so much work and plenty of work that there was no reason for them to even want to entertain the idea of even leaving town. Because for them, it would be quite expensive. They'd have to put a crew together. And then, of course, they'd have to find lodging, dining, and all this other stuff, plus fuel expense. You put it all together, and it's just a big hassle for them. So they're like, nah, we'll pass. So trying to find somebody even close by to even repair our pool has been a complete failure. Not because of anybody here. It's just because of the situation where the pool people are feeding quite well. Where they're at, and they really don't need our business, to be quite frank. So anyhow, this pool over at Carnes Park was about 57 years old, and it was the first, and I still believe the only Olympic-sized pool here in the South. So with the age of this pool, and then also just following along with Camden Public Works and how they've gone through and done a lot of modifications and everything of this building, the facilities, and the pool. And looking at the equipment of the pool, I tell you, man, that stuff is definitely dated as well. And a lot of stuff they can't even get parts for anymore. They're having to retrofit a lot of things in there just to keep this thing running. So we were hoping that maybe the pool would be opening because everybody got their hopes up. They drained the pool, they cleaned it out, and then they filled it back up. And it was excitement and everything, excitement in the air. And we thought that this summer we're going to open up this pool and it's going to be beautiful and we're going to make this thing work. Well, come to find out, walking around the pool and everything, that there's a bunch of pipes that are underground that run the jets. So these jets are all up and down the walls. You've been around a pool. You know what I'm talking about with these jets. They just shoot water out the side. Well, there's also another place where the water gets taken in. So you're circulating the water through filters, chemicals, and all other kind of things to purify the water, get the PP out and all that, and put it back in. The other thing is, too, is that people are nasty. You have no idea how nasty people are. If you didn't live through COVID, you have no idea how nasty people can be. And did you know that you're actually supposed to jump in the shower? They have showers out there that you're supposed to jump in the shower before you get in the pool and wash off all those nasties and everything before you get in the pool. That's the other reason why there's chemicals in there, is because a lot of people just jump in the pool nasty, and the pool system has to actually filter all that out. So that way you don't get sick. I've got to take a break. We'll pick this up on the other side right here. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas. How fitting. Muddy waters. You don't have to go. You don't have to go to the swimming pool, but you can go to the splash pad. I don't know. It just showed up rotation like that. We're talking about the Carnes Park swimming pool. And, of course, you got muddy waters there playing. It's just kind of like, it's kind of fitting, isn't it? So, just before the break, we was going over Carnes Park Pool. Just a short, brief history behind it and everything. What's going on with it? Walked around with Camden Public Works as they showed me some things about the pool and how it works and everything and what it does and where the problems are at. And sure enough, man, there's a bunch of crushed pipes over there, just stuff that just does not work anymore. And I guess the thing is over time, from what it looks like. Because, I mean, heads have got to roll, right? I mean, somebody's got to answer for this. And we want names and we want action. So we want to know who to fire around here. Doggone it. Because, this stuff should have been looked at and taken care of and nothing. Actually, there's no one really to blame. There's no names to call out. There's no heads to roll. There's no pointing of responsibility. It's just time is the culprit. That's who to blame, really, is time. And time has done its thing. And as long as things have worked for the most part, nobody did anything about it because it worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So the thing is over time, what's happened is everything seems to have worked. And then as one piece at a time has gone bad, it's like, you know what? It's just one thing. It's just one thing. And so it's not just one administration either. This is rolled through all the different, you got to remember this pool's about 50 something years old or 70 years old. I think it was built back in we did a whole history thing on this park. And we did a whole thing about who did it and what it was. and I don't know if I can still pull it back up. Can I? There was a whole thing that I did a while back, and it was the guy who came. He was a carpetbagger, came from somewhere or something like that, and had a bunch of money, made a bunch of money out of oil, and then built this park, and it was the greatest of all kind. And with that, all this stuff happened, right? So this thing has been around. I can't remember if it was 30s, 40s, or 50s. So anyhow, this pool's pretty old. And over the course of time, it's just, as long as it worked and it did what it was supposed to do, nobody really paid much attention to it. They just kept filling it back up with water, throw some chemicals in there, and the thing worked. If something broke, it was like, we'll put it off till next year. It's just that one thing. And then that one thing became two things. It's just those two things. And then those two things became four things. It's just those four things. Now we got crushed pipes and everything else, and now it's been passed down through the years that now it's at a point to where it's in disrepair because nobody's bothered to fix it. So it's hard to sit there and put this all on one person or one administration or, however, but other than just put it back on time. Time has taken its toll on the pool. So the pool's not going to do what the pool used to do. So it looks like we may not be getting the pool open this year. What it was is Camden Public Works Director Kevin Franklin posted on Facebook saying, we did everything physically possible to get Carnes Park Pool up and running. It's just absolutely too old. It's about 50 to 70 years old, and only a few of the jets work. The pool is supposed to recycle all the water every 8 hours, and it takes the pool around 32 to 48 hours. So we're in talks with contractors about rebuilding a slightly smaller pool. Really hated to put this out there, especially with all the negativity. So he says, my team and I are pro Camden, and we want to see the city thrive. So it all comes back to city council. So we got to go put it back before city council. And, oh, by the way, the splash pad. Yeah, splash pad's open. Go splash about. Go splash all you want. Splash to your heart's content. As for the pool, though, what's going to have to happen is all that's going to have to go back before the city council. Yeah, so we're going to put it on the shoulders of the city council. So now it's up to them. So don't look at Kevin. Don't look at Kevin going, now, Kevin, what you going to do about that swimming pool? Kevin's like, dude, because Kevin's hands are tied, all right? He can only do so much with what budget he has. And not only that, though, anything major over rehaul or anything like that, man, is going to have to go through approval of the city council. So that's what it comes down to. So now, I guess Kevin's just going to have to report back to city council, this next city council meeting, which is actually coming up here pretty soon. Let's see. That will be, so that's going to be the first. So it'll be the 14th of June will be the next city council meeting. And, I guess that's when he'll bring it up. Say, hey, man, it's a no-go. We thought we were going to be able to do it. Not going to be able to pull it off. If y'all want that swimming pool to be a swimming pool, y'all going to have to, cough up some money to get some people out. So, I mean, for now, all he can really do is talk to other contractors and stuff, take some bids, get some ideas of what it's going to cost to maybe fix what's already out there. If not, just fill that thing up with cement and go build a new pool somewhere else. You know what I say? I say we take that basketball court over there. I've been eyeballing that thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so what you do is you level that thing out. Oh, yeah. It's a perfect spot for a swimming pool. And then you take the basketball and say, hey, what about the basketball court, man? Nah, man, you bring that up the hill, see? And then you put that where the swimming pool used to be. Yeah, see, just what you know. The only bad thing is, though, is if you did that, that really puts distance between the pool and the splash pad. You really want the two together. That way, if you're short-staffed, you got somebody who can actually eyeball the two at the same time because they're in close proximity. I mean, they're like right there on the same lot or property or just a piece of land right there. So you really got to be careful about that. And there was conversation about that before about actually moving the pool down over by the basketball court. But that would be the thing, though, is it would be completely separated from the splash pad. So if you wanted to jump out of the pool and go on the splash pad into the pool, you'd have to walk a ways, and that just kind of makes it a little inconvenient. So now it comes down to, who can we talk to about possibly taking the swimming pool and, maybe getting it to its glory, back to its glory as is, or do we just build a new one, a smaller one? The ideas are out there. And of course, like I said, all that's going to have to go before city council for approval and decide where to go and how to spend your money to get a swimming pool. If you want a swimming pool, they're going to have to spend your money. So I know a lot of y'all are like, man, we spend too much money as it is, but hey, y'all want that swimming pool. I'm just saying. And, y'all talking about we need things for the children to do. Well, you got to support it if you want it to survive because, well, we already killed the bowling alley. We already killed a skating rink and a movie theater. So, the only thing left to do is just kill the swimming pool. But you got to support it if you want it. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're hitting top of the hour news. And we got Dr. Jared Smith coming up on the other side for your roundtable. Don't forget about those podcasts. News Talk 92, KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas.
Let's do it.
News Talk 92 KBEU, the news and talk of South Arkansas here in the 7 o'clock hour. 70 degrees outside, 75 feels like it. About 5 degrees difference in temperature, though. A high of 77. Got some rain in the forecast, too, as well. Ooh, look at that. We switched it up. Oh, look at that. We went from Wild Thing to Van Halen, Jamie's Crying. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a nice mix-up right there as we kick it right back into some Tone Loc with a Wild Thing. There you go. Oh, no, that's Salt and Pepper. I'm sorry. Look at that. We did 3 right there. That's a trio. Push it. All right, let's get back into this thing here. Just before the top of the hour, we're talking about the swimming pool over there at Carnes Park and what that means and everything. And did find out the pool should be around 68 years old. It was built back in 1954. And then other than that, though, it's been plagued with pump issues and things like that, often leaving the pool closed for days to weeks and things like that. So it's just been passed down through administration to administration to administration. So like I said, I know people are out there like, well, whose heads need to roll? Who needs to be called out? Who needs to be blamed for this? And it's like the only thing you can really blame is time. Time is yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be the cause of all this. Just like I said, though, one thing broke and it's like, well, you know what? It's that one thing. We'll put it off till next year when we redo the budget. Then 2 things broke. We'll put it off till next year. Then 4 things broke. We'll put it off till next year. And then finally, it just got to the point. It's like, oh, this thing's going to get really expensive to fix, huh? Well, what can we do? Other than, talk to contractors and things like that. But those have pretty much been a failure here recently. Oh, my gosh. And then you throw in COVID, 2022 and all that. Or not 2022. This is 2022. 2020. You throw all that in there and everything. And what I'd be interested to see? I'm just going to throw this out there. Because we did the whole entertainment district thing, right? And we think about the children. We need something for the children to do. We had stuff for the children to do. You didn't support it. It's gone. It's vanished. So we got a swimming pool that's out there. It's the last thing left for the children to do. And that's a seasonal thing, too. So if we don't support the pool, then the pool will go away and just basically be an empty concrete hole or just filled with water and a mosquito breeding ground. Or we just fill it with dirt and call it good. And then everybody will be going to El Dorado for their splash pad and swimming pool features. El Dorado, once again, thanks you for your business. So we got an election coming up where we'll be choosing a mayor. Will we be choosing the incumbent or will we be choosing from a list of new potential mayors? I don't know. It depends on how all that turns out. But how much you want to bet that that's going to be a hot topic there? What about the swimming pool? What about things for children to do? Because, this last administration, while they've done nothing but failure when it comes to the swimming pool. And, of course, we need new leadership to bring in a new swimming pool for the new times and the new future. Oh, I'm sure you'll hear something like that. But like I said, it's not really in a particular administration to blame. It's not a particular public works director to blame. It's just time. And people just kept putting it off. Because this would break, put it off till next year. We'll redo that. When we redo the budget, we'll put it in there. And time just made more things break. So there it is. So we got the splash pad, So, and they have to keep people out there now to supervise the splash pad because people can't seem to behave either. So I don't know what that's all about, but people just trashy people out there trashing the place out and everything and can't seem to pick up the trash or take the trash. You know, it's funny. You brought the stuff out there with you, right? So you were capable of carrying this crap to bring it out there with you to the splash pad. But for some reason, it's too heavy now to carry it back to your vehicle from where you brought it from. So you just leave the trash out there and break glass and everything else and just a bunch of trashy people out there. So now we got to spend more money to have somebody out there supervised to make sure trashy people don't do trashy things. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to call you out. If you're leaving your trash behind and everything, I'm sorry. You just trashy. That's what you are. You just trashy people doing trashy stuff. So stop being trashy and then you won't be trashy people. See, that's just how it works. So anyhow, trying to find somebody to see if we can get this thing fixed. We'll figure out what's going on there. Cause I mean, that thing's a big son of a gun when it comes to a pool. Well, you're talking about like 185 by 75 foot pool. It's Olympic size and, the depth is like from 5 to 11 feet. And let's see, we're a town of 10,000 people, less than 10,000 now. So you can roughly put about 500 swimmers in there. So, about 500 or so. I don't know if that's like, shoulder to shoulder or what, but that thing holds about 666,486 gallons of water that needs to be filtered. And if we're only filtering that thing once every 48 hours, we got a big problem. So, let's see. So, we got to figure out what to do with that and everything. And, cause it's got to change according to the State Board of Health, a number of health and safety precautions are also issues out there because they even say that the water's got to be changed out every 8 hours because people are just freaking nasty. I'm telling you, man, you got nasty people jumping in the pool because they don't get in the shower before they jump in the pool. And then you got trashy people out there leaving their trash and everything out there at the splash pad because, people just don't have respect for themselves or any facilities or anything. It's not theirs. What do they care? They're not paying for it, right? So just trash the place out. So anyhow, we'll see what happens there with the swimming pool and that there as well. So who knows, man, I didn't get the other stuff I wanted to get to because, let's see. Elvis themed weddings in Vegas are banned now. Yep. Copyright issues. So, Elvis themed weddings in Vegas are banned. The company that handles the Elvis estate just sent a cease and desist letters to a bunch of chapels. And if they do any more, they could face legal action. Also, top mistakes drive grammar nuts insane. If you really want to have some fun on Facebook and just tick people off. The top mistakes that drive grammar nerds crazy includes misplaced apostrophes, too many commas, and capitalizing random words. So have fun with that. And, almost all couples argue in some way, but being married lowers your risk of early death. So in a new poll, 97% of people in serious relationships admit they argue about a wide range of issues. But despite all that fighting and everything, a new study says that being married can reduce your chances of an early death by 20%. Also, that also brings me back to the whole coffee thing there as well, because people who drink coffee, result from a 7-year study suggests drinking coffee can extend your lifespan as well as being married. Researchers found that coffee drinkers have fewer fatal cases of cancer and heart disease, and people who drink slightly sweetened coffee live longer too. So adding sugar may not be so unhealthy as you thought. All right. Let's see what we got to do here is, no, wait a minute. I still got time. Oh, hey, wait, I thought I was in another segment there. No, actually, I am right where I need to be. So, no, actually, I am. I am right there at the top. No, I'm not. Where am I? I don't know right now. I'm trying to figure out where in the world we are. Okay, yeah, I know where we're at. All right, yeah, we got to go ahead and we're good. Dagnabbit. See, now I'm confused. I'm sitting there thinking we were in a different segment, but we're not. So we're good. All right. Okay. Cheese and rice, dude. I swear. Okay. This is what happens when you wake up too early. It's crazy. So anyhow, wanted to talk about the 4 people that got killed in the shooting in Tulsa at the Tulsa Medical Building. And it's just crazy how all of a sudden, I don't know. It's just weird how all of a sudden all this stuff is just breaking out. We, we saw this happen a lot during Obama's administration. Now, I even brought it up about Trump's administration. COVID kept everybody in. And so I guess COVID was just enough to keep people from wanting to go out and mass shoot everybody. Because I figure, now they want to obey the laws, right? Because, you got a social distance but even during Trump's administration, we had that big, massive shooting there at Jason Aldean concert in Las Vegas where that guy was up there in the hotel and shooting from the window. But we didn't have as many. It just doesn't seem like we had as many as we do going on right now. Also, the governor here wants to have a conversation about limits for an AR-15 style weapons, pretty much putting an age limit to 21. I'm like, everything's going to 21. You can't, how crazy is this? It used to be that you had to be 18 to buy cigarettes, right? So you're 18 to buy cigarettes, but you couldn't smoke them until you were 21 because you had to wait to, you're 21 to be able to get into a place to be able to smoke them. You can't smoke them, but you can buy them. Now they raised it to where, did they raise the age of cigarettes to 21? I think I remember something about that. I can't remember. I think I did. Anyhow, raising the purchase of firearms, AR-15 style, to 21. I'm thinking, look, at 18, you can sign up for selective service. Oh, you have to sign it. It's mandatory. You have to, if you're a guy, you have to sign up for selective service at the age of 18 because you're a man now. You're an adult. And you can also join the military and kill for your country and die for your country. But you can't drink, you can't smoke. What else can you do? Now they're saying that you can't have any kind of AR-15 style weapons, but you could be 18, join the military, and go around and carry one, shoot and die for your country. So I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe we just need to bump everything up to 21. I mean, think about it. 18, right at 18, anything below 18, unless you're being charged as an adult, anything that you have on your record is sealed. So, and chances are, you probably won't get charged with something because you're under 18, like I said, unless you're charged as an adult. So you really don't have a record or a history or anything. So I'm thinking between the ages of 18 to 21, that gives you time to screw things up because now it goes on your record. Unlike, when you were 16, 15, 12. So now we can see what type of person you are between the ages of 18 and 21. I mean, you can sign a loan at 18 and destroy your life with bad credit. I mean, you can put yourself in $150,000 debt with student loans at 18. But you can't carry around, they don't want you carrying around a gun until you're 21. And they don't want you buying cigarettes until you're 21. And they don't even want you drinking booze until you're 21 because they can't trust that you know how to drink and drive. Only people over 21 are good at drinking and driving, I guess, because I didn't realize there was really a difference. I figure, I know a bunch of 54-year-olds who drink and drive and killed a family of 4 anyways. So 18... 54. If you drink and drive, you kill a family of 4. Hey, you drink and drive, you kill a family of 4. It doesn't matter how old you are. Drinking and driving is just bad. So anyhow, at least between the ages of 18 and 21, you've established yourself by the time you're 21. We know that you got a record. We can now see what kind of person you're going to be as an adult. And then we can figure out if you should have a firearm or not, or if you should be drinking or smoking or whatever. Because now we can have a record or, we have a paper trail on you to be able to figure out, if you're worthy or not. So the governor says, I think you got to be able to talk about this AR style weapons and whether that's an 18 or 21 age thing and have at least the conversation about that. That's what the gov said there. And I mean, granted, this kid in Texas, at 18 went and bought the guns and stuff, which I don't understand. How in the world did he afford all this stuff? He's 18, still in high school, wasn't even going to graduate, was upset that he wasn't going to graduate, has a, $30,000 truck, spent about $4,000 in firepower. He's 18 years old. Most 18-year-olds are, if they even have a job, are working minimum wage, and minimum wage, at least here in Arkansas, is now at $11. So, I mean, I remember struggling at minimum wage when I was 18. I mean, I could barely even afford a car payment or insurance, let alone, and I was living at home with my parents. So, I mean, I get what we're trying to do here. And the thing is, though, is that even if you make it 21, I mean, this kid could have found some other, because, I mean, look at the dude with Sandy Hook. He didn't buy his stuff. He got it from his, his parents or grandparents and killed them and then took the firearms and then went and shot up the school. So, I mean, it's either or. It's one way or the other. So, I mean, it took, 3 box cutters to bring down, or 4 box cutters to bring down 4 planes, kill 3,000 people in a matter of 2 hours. It took a Ryder truck full of fertilizer to blow up a federal building and kill God knows how many children that were involved in that one, along with the adults and everything else. I'm just saying, we've got to actually start focusing on the fact that it's not the guns. People want to kill. People are going to kill. We've seen different demonstrations on how this is going to work. Yes, we probably do need to make some changes. At least try and make some kind of attempt to make it more difficult, I guess, for those with ill will to carry out their mission. But, you got the Boston Marathon bombers with their pressure cookers. They did that thing there. And, what did we see on pressure cookers? Not a damn thing. Nothing happened. We just said, oh, look, you can make bombs out of pressure cookers. You can rent Ryder trucks and blow things up. You can fly airplanes as a guided missile into buildings and stuff. I mean, we've learned so much over the past few half century of how 100 different ways to successfully kill people without having to use firepower. I mean, who's that guy? Jimmy James or whatever it was that the guy that had the cult and they all drank Kool-Aid and they all died together. See, I mean, Kool-Aid, boxer, knife cutters, Ryder trucks. I mean, whatever. It's not just the guns. So, I mean, we keep making it about the guns, but it's not just the guns, because we only care about murder when it comes to guns. Other than that, if you get killed with anything else or murdered with anything else, we just don't give a damn. We don't care, and we're not going to make it headline news either. Sorry about your luck, you're dead. Other than that, though, you die with a gun. Oh, we're putting focus on that. Got to take a break. Roundtable up next. News Talk 92 KBEU.